Hi, this is Laureen, and I'm doing another video. So if you'll just give me a couple minutes to clear, center, and balance my energy, and we will get started. Okay, so I had a lot of information come in this week. A lot of information, and one of the things I noticed is, or the connections I made was when I first started doing this, all the information came from outside of Earth, the summer triangle, but then that expanded to divinity, to our divine creator. So when I see all the energies within the universe, I see all these different beings around in this crescent shape that represents divinity, because we all carry the divine source within each of us. And so when I see all of these energies unified, individual but unified, that represents divinity. So at the beginning, when I started doing this, there was all these energies from different worlds, different solar systems, different star systems, different constellations. Now, this whole week, it's just been all inner earth beings, and a lot of very interesting information about the inner earth, timelines, and then also the heart of Mother Earth. And I just want to explain another thing. So time is a construct of this world. All time is now. And I know, living on a world where we see the past, the present, and the future as different times, to understand that all time is right now is kind of a difficult concept to accept, because you have to first release this old idea of time before you can kind of start working your way into a new idea or truth or reality of time, or time being a construct of this world. So with that, when I get information, I get all the information at once. It doesn't come in like in an outline, 1, 2, 3, and then subcategories. It all comes in at once. So I try to write it all down, hold that information and write it all down. And I'm saying this because when I was trying to reread through the information, this time it seemed a little bit disjointed. It felt like I kept on going back over stuff. Part of that is because it's different days, and so more information is coming in and kind of filling in the gaps. But also, as that information comes in, trying to organize it and then write it down in a way that people can understand. Also, there was so much information that was, I guess, convoluted is the best way to explain it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read, and I'm going to try to explain as I go. But as I get closer to the heart of Mother Earth, the information that came in was very universal, very spiritual. I'm not sure what word to use, but you have to have a really broad, you have to have a new idea of spirituality and faith, and how spirituality and faith reconciles with science and the universe, because spirituality, or what we have come to know as religion, is not separate from physics or quantum physics. They actually both work together. They're the same. And so this information from the inner earth came in, that heart center was really difficult for me to put into words, to actually write down. So when I get to that part, I'm going to try to explain it as best as I can. But I'm just kind of prefacing it because I still am a little bit perplexed. So on August 31st, this message came in. What so many on this world fail to realize or acknowledge is that God created each of us. Each of us embody meaning and purpose for this world. It is our obligation to realize that meaning and purpose and apply it to our lifetime. So each of us have a purpose in this world. We have a meaning, something that we are to contribute to this world as a whole, not just in our jobs, not just to our children, and not just to or our families, or to our, but to ourselves in relationship to this world. So our vision of what we're here to do is so narrow in scope right now, and one of the things that we are being asked to do is to broaden this idea of what we're here to do. This isn't just about me, this isn't just about you, it's about us unified together as not only a family or a community, but as a whole, as a people, as a whole, a community of humans. And what does that mean? What is your purpose? What is your meaning as part of this collective of humanity? Not just to yourself, not just to your family, not just to your job, not just to your city or community, but to humanity as a whole. We all work together, and as we transcend, this is what we each have to know and understand, okay? Each of us embody meaning and purpose for this world. So what is your meaning and purpose for this world? September 1st, the raptors, always around now. The raptors come through often to greet and touch base. They share that there is a huge issue with ego in this cabal energy. They will not stand down and continue to violate boundaries. It is not about anything other than they do not want anyone telling them what they can and can't do, or where they can and can't go. Sebastian does not comment directly about this behavior, but the feeling is the raptor warriors will engage in a traditional fashion in quotation marks, that's how I wrote it, for right now, but there will come a time when they will use technology and then in quotation marks to clear the space. They are giving them the opportunity to walk away or in a different direction. But this opportunity won't last long. The other inner earth beings are not engaging the cabal. The feeling is their purpose is not lending itself to direct interaction at this time. Their purpose on this world or in this world is not lending itself to direct interaction at this time. There is a space-time issue and there is a space-time issue and continuity that prevents this interaction. Excuse me. The raptors are continuous. They have existed continuously on Earth since their birth. Sorry, I can't read my own writing. And so the raptors are continuous. They have existed continuously on Earth since their birth. So have the humans living on the surface. Some of the inner Earth beings are not originally part of this timeline. They're out of time. so to speak, and therefore are limited in when or how they can engage other beings on Earth. So I think I'm going to try to come back to that. I think I wrote more, some more came to me later, so I don't want to try to repeat myself too much. The raptors have been coming to show their support regularly. So they keep on coming. So I kept on noting that, like, throughout the day, I can always, I could feel them constantly. And the second I close my eyes, I see them right here. They're standing right here. The raptors have been coming to show their support regularly, to the right in a crescent shape. The other inner earth beings are to the left in a crescent shape. The raptors are part of a continuous timeline and are open to fully engage with upper earth humans as they choose. The other humanoid inner earth beings have certain protocols they are to follow because of their purpose on this timeline. That may shift after transcendence, but the raptors are the most aligned with humanity on this timeline. The beings of love and light, closer to the center, the heart of Mother Earth, are very hush-hush. They do not care to engage others. They have a very clear purpose. They are fully focused on protecting the heart and service. What is there we are not ready for? So what is there at the heart of Mother Earth we are not ready for? It is heavily fortified. These gentle giants, they will call me when the time is right. The records can only be accessed by those with the proper intention and DNA. And I think there's more in here about that, so I'll get into that more. But at the heart of Earth, there are these large beings that protect Mother Earth. They're very, very large, like King Kong large. And so I'm going to wait before I comment more on that. So on September 3rd, a message just came in. You are welcome to choose the negative polarity. If you insult, belittle, marginalize, bully others in the name of justice, you have chosen the negative polarity. So the next, I guess maybe a little bit later in the afternoon, same day, September 3rd, the inner earth beings are communicating often. First, the raptors are always around. They are like sentinels, especially Sebastian. I always see them to my side. Sebastian always steadfast. The ambassador very refined and regal, ready to engage. He is observing through me. Sebastian looks at the ready. The other inner earth beings are awaiting instruction. The raptors are the only inner earth beings who can engage at this time. They have not cleared all routes yet, but they are giving the cabal the opportunity to stand down. They have given them the opportunity to stand down. I am told by Sebastian he does not believe they will take it because it is they who are now running scared. They're going to try to make it through the tunnels and sacrifice their own people instead of being caught. The higher the position, the closer to safety these cabal people are. If you are of lower stature, expendable, you are being sacrificed for the others. Those being sacrificed don't know they are pawns, but that is how the cabal works. So then Sebastian said, "You're safe, protected, fortified. Someone will come get you if needed, but that is unlikely. Meaning that is unlikely that it'll be needed. And so I'm just going to explain this. If you live from your heart, from the heart center, the law of attraction says what you put out is what you get in kind. If you put out love, compassion, kindness, tolerance, empathy, sincerity, honesty, you will receive those things back. If you put out negative energy, you will receive those back. So I work diligently to always be on the positive, balanced polarity. So I know that as I walk my path, I am always protected and fortified, and I have no fear. I'm not afraid. I know they won't have to come get me. And so when he says that, Sebastian knows that also. But what he's showing is solidarity. He's just showing solidarity. If you need me, I am here. That is what he's telling me. And so I'm very touched by that, and I always express gratitude for that solidarity. There are protective beings at the heart. Okay, so this is another segment on the 3rd. There are protective beings at the heart of Mother Earth. I've heard them described as giants on Cosmic Disclosure, but that is incorrect. They are whatever they need to be, and that is based on your perception. Whatever they need to present themselves as to keep you at bay or in line. When they present themselves to me, it is how they were initially described to give me a frame of reference. Then they change. So when they first engaged me, they engaged me as these large beings that I had seen on Cosmic Disclosure. But as soon as I made that connection, they presented themselves as their true self. They are benevolent. They can be large or comparable in size to me. They protect the heart of Mother Earth. They show me the sphere in the middle of the earth. It's solid like a cue ball. These beings are around the core of Mother Earth. There are 5 of them. They are turning a big wheel, and the wheel looks like the captain's wheel on a ship. It has spokes. They are grabbing the spokes on the wheel and turning it. So this is a metaphor, first of all, what they're showing me. And it's a 2-dimensional. So they're showing me the cue ball in the middle, the sphere in the middle, and then around it is that wheel with the spokes. And these giants are kind of pushing that wheel around, kind of like wheels in a cog, just turning and turning. So they're grabbing the spokes on the wheel ball and turning it. This is a metaphor for what is truly happening. The wheel is multidimensional, a sphere, a Merkaba. It's turning and transforming. These beings stand around the heart of Mother Earth and protect it. All else outside this heart is fodder. It is meaningless. Everything outside the heart can be destroyed and replaced. These beings will not allow any harm to come to Mother Earth. All will transcend with Mother Earth. But Mother Earth is not committed to any one life form. These giants are high-dimensional beings tasked with protecting Mother Earth. So then I just put a note for myself to explain this a little deeper. This information as it came and they were showing me the heart, and this metaphor was very dense with information, and a lot of it I really can't articulate in words because the way the information comes in, and it's feeling, it's knowing, and it's energetic, and everything's energy, but the way the information is coming through is just that knowing and feeling. And to put words to it is hard, and that's why telepathic communication is so much more efficient than actual verbal communication, because I know exactly what they're telling me as that information comes in, but as I try to figure out how to verbalize it in a way that you can understand, or anybody who's listening can understand, it's very difficult. It's similar to explaining how Sebastian's commitment to his people is so intense. There's really no words to explain it, but I just did the best that I could with the vocabulary and vernacular that I had access to. So this energy at the heart of Mother Earth, they're showing me like a cue ball, but the Merkaba, okay, so on initiation, with Matthias de Stefano, he talks about the Merkaba, and when it spins, how it looks like a sphere. So that sphere in the middle of Mother Earth is truly a Merkaba that is spinning. They're showing it to me as a cue ball or a round sphere because that is what we see when we see that spinning Merkaba. So when the giants are turning the wheel, they're spinning the sphere. But it's not just in a two-dimensional fashion. It's actually like a gyroscope, or it's multidimensional, so that sphere is turning in many different directions. A hypersphere, if you can find I have a GIF of that. I see if I can kind of put it, if I can post it somewhere, but that kind of multidimensional spinning and transitioning, that is what those giants, those beings are doing as they turn the wheel, but they're not really turning it. They're standing around it, and they're energetically projecting energy to this sphere. There's 5 of them. They are not giants. As soon as I look at them, they're light beings. And when I talked to you about when in the past, a few years ago, I was traveling through wormholes, and what I would do is I'd move outside space and time, and I would meet with spiritual beings, angels. We know them as angels, guides, ascended masters, right? And I described in a previous video that they look like points of light, and then that would emanate, and the shape would be kind of like a marquee diamond. And so these 5 energies, same thing I see, this point of light, 5 of them around the heart of Mother Earth, and they are transitioning her. They are helping her transition to this next level of transcendence. And so, and then I got this feeling of the Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit is actually God in religion. I was raised Catholic, so I'm just going to use this example. And so these 5 beings are a quinity, 5 beings that represent divinity. God are transmuting, rebirthing, rejuvenating, reincarnating Mother Earth. She, like us, reincarnates, and that is what she's doing, and that's what they're doing right now. They are rebirthing, rejuvenating Mother Earth, and they do not engage. They have no interest in engaging any other beings on Earth because their commitment is to Mother Earth. And so any energies that make it into that space are only given what is needed to pacify them, but also to keep them at bay. Because intention, as well as being a physical being, our DNA makeup has to match in order to get to where how would I put this? To get the information that everybody wants. You know, everybody wants information for power and control, right? They're not going to get that information. That information is only available to the most benevolent beings, those who are committed to the divine, to balance. And these 5 beings have no interest in engaging anybody other than those who look to protect and restore and help Mother Earth. And there are only a handful of people on the planet that are tasked with that. I'm going to stop right there, because if I try to start explaining too many other things, it just becomes so convoluted and inaccessible. So on September 4th, when the raptors say they will come get me, that is a demonstration of solidarity, not fear. Like me, they have absolute faith and trust in our divine creator. As I said in a past video 2 weeks ago, I willingly choose my path with absolute faith and trust in God. If a negative polarity agent of the cabal is allowed into my space, there is a purpose for it, and I will walk my path with absolute faith and trust in my divine creator. Illness, strife, catastrophe, deprivation, whatever the call, as we go through this transition, I will endure whatever is needed to bring Mother Earth to balance with absolute faith and trust in God. The irony is, it is just that, my absolute faith and trust in divinity, God, the source of all creation, that fortifies and protects me, my children, my loved ones, from such things. I encourage you to find your center, rediscover your own personal spirituality, and through that, rekindle absolute faith and trust in God, because what I am witnessing right now is the opposite. Be a paladin of love and light, and do no harm. This is your journey of self-realization. So today I just kind of had this epiphany and this understanding. There's always a formal introduction whenever a new being kind of comes into my space to engage me. And the example I'm going to give you is the raptors. Whenever they first come to me, whenever a new individual being from their community comes to me, they first show me their profile and then their eye. It's very distinct. So I'm always drawn to the profile and then the eye. And there's always a formal introduction. And with these inner earth beings, the heart of inner earth, the giants, the light beings, we're all light beings, but I'm just going to say these are high level. The introduction was, they did show me the giants, but there is no further real engagement that happened. So they did not give me a name. They just showed their presence, and the energy they projected at me was, I am that I am. So they're showing their true divine source and the fact that they are very near the Godhead as far as evolution, if not at the Godhead. They are divine, and they're not here for humanity. They will not engage. They are here to prime the pump. So that was the expression that came to me. And that's what that turning of the wheel of the Merkaba is. They're priming the pump, getting Mother Earth ready for her rebirth. Then I started thinking about, why are there 5? Okay, so I started thinking about the Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, and then Hindu, the 3 gods, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, and those ideas. And why are there 5? And what came to me was earth, water, fire, air, consciousness, spirit. Those are the 5. That's what the 5 represent. The 5 energies represent earth, air, fire, water, and consciousness. We are not here for humanity. This is their engaging me again today. We are not here for humanity. You are not here for humanity. We are here for Mother Earth. Me and them. Zeta will address all issues related to humanity right now. We prepare for Mother Earth's future. We ask that you remain patient throughout tribulation. The surface humans choose their paths, and when this time is past, your role as midwife to Mother Earth will come. You will witness her rebirth and forge her path to ensure her success and the success of those who have followed your lead of transcendence. Your desire to guide as many beings as possible to the light during transcendence is honorable, but this is not your task. There have been many religious icons, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, Rama, Confucius, who have spread the word of divine love, compassion, tolerance. Humanity has all it needs to transcend. Each individual now makes the choice. You are here to bear witness. You have been here since the beginning. You serve and bear witness. Kuzovo, here to engage humanity together. You complete the cycle. So I serve and bear witness. Kuzovo is here to engage humanity, and together we complete the cycle. Unified always, never apart, you will succeed. Be patient during tribulation. Yes, to witness is, at times, a seemingly unsurmountable task, but nevertheless, you always fulfill your commitment to the divine. We support you, we are you, and you are us. Right now, you have already succeeded. Relish the moment. And so I'm just going to end really quick with, I had this vision of as above, so below. And let's see. Can you see that? There. So when I first started doing this, I had communications from the galactic community, from above, from the Summer Triangle, from all these different worlds, star systems. They just started communicating intensely in support of our transition and what we were getting ready to go through. But now, today, this past week, since the raptors started coming in, it's all inner earth. It's all inner earth. All the engagement comes from inner earth. So there was this realization and this epiphany and understanding of as above, so below. The divine, through all these beings within the universe, individually, but then unifying as one, as divinity. And then below, in the heart of Mother Earth, those 5 beings, those 5 energies, helping Mother Earth to rejuvenate and reincarnate, all represent the divine. So there we have the divine above and below, working to help, to not help, but to move us through transcendence. Thank you.